They paid the ultimate price to battle the Dude Fire near Payson. And today at Perryville Prison, fellow inmate firefighters paid tribute to their heroic acts. Cater Lee has more on the emotionally charged memorial service today.
Heidi, 5 inmate firefighters and their corrections department supervisor, a small group of people that lived and worked behind the walls of Perryville Prison. But when they took off for the fire line near Payson, they risked it all, and they died heroes.
Brown. Present. Carrillo. Present. Cole. Here. Joe Chacon. Alex Contreras.
6 names are missing from the roll call of the Perryville firefighting crew. On this day, those who knew them in their greatest moments pay tribute.
James Denny did a lot of bad things. Came here and changed his life. Sometimes it takes maybe spirit, church. To him, it was a fire crew.
All I can say is that Curtis died doing the right thing. He made amends. He was a hero.
Flowers, black badges, a plaque with their names inscribed, all symbols of the love and friendship the 6 victims of the Dude Fire left behind. But beyond the sadness of their loss, there is celebration of their lives.
They are no longer held prisoner of their past actions, of their desires, or held captive in human flesh, but are enjoying true freedom.
For Sandy and your fellow inmates, there is peace and rest. They are truly in God's hands.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. 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 James Denny.
A fund has been set up to cover the burial
Tubes, they're called mortars.
Valley Shopping Mall. Starting today, 6 off-duty police officers.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
The 6 were trapped in a firestorm 1 week ago today. 5 of the dead were from a Perryville inmate crew of 17. The 6th, Sandra Bachman, was a supervisor. 4 other inmate crew members were injured. Each of the dead was remembered today, as were the heroics, which saved the others.
We're here to remember the lives of 6 people who paid the ultimate price and made the supreme sacrifice. But we're here to honor the lives of many who put their same lives in the same jeopardy almost daily.
I'd also like to just thank and take a minute, if I can, to thank this crew here, the Navajo crew, for what they did up on that mountain for us. You guys, some of you guys came back and were helping us down that mountain. I know there was a couple of us helping some of you, but you guys came back.
Several funds have been set up for the cost of the burials, as well as to help family members. Contact the Department of Corrections for information on 3 different funds at 542-5857.
A report on timber cut.
Dana, Patty Kirkpatrick, Bill Austin's forecast, and Bill Denny Sports. This is 12 News Tonight.
The fire began more than a week ago and was contained last weekend, but the devastation caused by Arizona's Dude Fire did more than blacken the landscape and destroy 65 homes. It took the lives of 6 firefighters, making it the deadliest wildfire today in state history. That sacrifice was honored today. Good evening. Patty is off tonight. I'm Lindsay Shepard.
It has been a long and difficult week for the fire crew from Perryville Prison, which lost 6 people last Tuesday. That crew, along with hundreds of others, were fighting the wildfires near Payson. Bruce Kirk is here now tonight with a look at today's ceremony for those killed.
Kent, 5 prisoners and a corrections worker killed trying to save part of Arizona. 6 people remembered not for their wrongs, but instead for their courage.
This small group, disregarded by society in general, 5 inmates and a correctional administrative assistant, gave without hesitation their greatest, perhaps only real possession for the benefit of all.
Inmates, officers, and family all coming to remember those lost fighting that terrible dude fire last week near Payson. It began, as always, with roll call, even for those lost.
Alex Contreras. William Davenport.
Present.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Fellow inmates, fellow firefighters as well, made it clear these were friends.
My heart goes out for them, pays their way. I give them my blessings, my relations.
All I can say is that Curtis died doing the right thing. He was nervous. He was a hero.
As a token, prison officials released the prisoners who had died for their past actions, allowing a clean slate at death.
God, again, we come to you, not asking that you remove the memories, only that you help us with the pain. Give us strength.
But most telling, an emotional end from inmates.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. James Denny. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
And we should point out something about these 5 inmates who died. It was made clear at today's ceremony that all of the dead had applied to be on that fire crew. They were not assigned, and they obviously paid the ultimate price.
Bruce, what about any funds that have been set up to help the families of these victims?
It was also announced today that the Arizona Department of Corrections will have a fund set up, and anybody who wants to donate can donate to the department, and they will pass those monies on to all the families of those who perished.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bruce. A Glendale man who's been arrested.
To stake their lives standing between your house and a tidal wave of flame. Sometimes they lose.
America's Southwest, and the numbers are almost impossible to comprehend. Thousands of acres scorched, hundreds of homes destroyed, whole neighborhoods reduced to ashes. When you hear those statistics, it's sometimes easy to forget that each one of those numbers represent people. People whose lives have been changed forever. Hard Copy has been out on the front lines of the firestorm, and we'd like you to meet some of the people we met. These men are prisoners, all convicted criminals. The kind of people society likes to tuck away and forget about. But this time we need to remember them, not as convicts, but as people. As they remember their comrades who died. Not doing something bad, but something very, very good.
People picture an inmate and a prisoner as something wrong and bad and that, but those people, they were gods.
In Payson, Arizona, brush fires raged out of control. Lives and property were threatened. A crew of inmate firefighters from Perryville State Prison went to battle the flames. 5 inmates and their supervisor would die in that fire.
I was just coming up on the crew when I was separated from them by a wall of fire.
You turn around and you look and there's a 250-foot wall of flames coming at you. You're scared to death.
The firefighter program at Perryville has been a big success for the state of Arizona. Only prisoners who show good behavior and work hard are allowed into the program. But as much as fighting fires, what is important for these men is a chance to fight for their self-esteem.
I've done 18 years in prison, and this is the only time, this is the only program, this is the only time I've ever done anything constructive.
James Denny was in jail on a burglary conviction. He died when he went back into the inferno to try to rescue the corrections officer. Being a firefighter had given Denny a sense of purpose.
I think the first time in his life that he felt like he was a real person and doing something that was, you know, worthwhile. And I think he was ready to come out on the outside and make a go of it.
Also lost in the fire were corrections officers Sandra Bachman, 24-year-old Curtis Springfield, 25-year-old Joseph Chacon, Alex Contreras and James Ellis. Ellis was scheduled for release this week.
I've heard a lot of people talking that they're criminals, but they were loving and caring people. They cared about people.
As a child, Curtis Springfield always loved his art, but then came drug addiction and his conviction for assault. But recently, Kurt started sending pictures home again. The firefighting program had helped turn him around.
He was doing something that was productive, like I say, and he wasn't, it wasn't self-destructive anymore. He was turning himself around. He was becoming quite a young man. He really was.
During frequent visits to prison, Kurt and his parents would talk of his future and the wonderful Christmas they would all share when he was released. Last Tuesday, the fire put an end to those dreams.
My son is a hero. Kurt didn't have a mean bone in his body, and he died doing something good. Nothing will ever bring him back. He died, my only son died doing something good.
Like Absalom, Kurt got off the track a few years ago. I hardly need remind you of the sacrifices made by this young man, this fallen comrade of some of you. Sacrifices made a number of times during the 2 years of fighting forest fires. And now this week, the ultimate sacrifice.
I'll never forget any of the guys that were on the fire crew with me, especially those who died. We love them. We're sorry. We tried.
I don't know you, but I love you all.
I wish that people would forget what their backgrounds are. We haven't asked the other firefighters what their backgrounds are. They came out here to do a job, and they gave their life for us. I think all that we can say is thank you very much from the bottom of our heart.
The Arizona Department of Corrections is allowing the inmates to go to all 6 funerals, wearing no cuffs, no shackles, no chains. The only running these men will be doing is to the next brush fire that breaks out, where they'll fight side by side like free men in proud memory of their fallen comrades.
One of the scariest parts of this firestorm is that it's exploded in early summer, much earlier than what is considered the usual fire season. That has authorities worried that the drought and heat may make this the longest, hottest summer ever.
Next, the 800-pound house guest.